If you're over 60 and can still do these 8 things, you're destined to live to 100. If you're over 60 and still feel like there's plenty of gas left in the tank, you're not alone. In fact, I've met thousands of folks in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who are still sharp, still smiling, and still full of life. And let me tell you something that might surprise you. It's not the number on your birthday cake, my friend, that predicts how long you'll live. It's what you can still do. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons or eating salad 3 times a day. Nah. I'm talking about the real life, everyday things. The quiet little abilities that show your brain's still sharp, your body's still moving, and your spirit's still dancing. You see, after 50 plus years coaching older adults across this great country, I've learned that the people who live the longest and happiest have certain things in common. And if you can still do even just a few of these, well, you might just be on the path to living past 100. So, grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's take a joyful walk through 8 surprising signs that you're not just aging, you're aging well. 1. You can still make new friends. You know, people don't talk about this enough, but one of the clearest, most powerful signs of a long life isn't your cholesterol numbers or how many steps you take in a day. It's whether or not you can still make a friend. Yep, it's that simple and that important. If you're over 60 and still find joy in conversation, if you can sit next to someone on a park bench and strike up a chat, or join a class, wave to a neighbor, or call someone just to check in, that's gold. Because loneliness, my friend, is sneaky. It's quiet, but it's dangerous. Studies now say it can be more harmful to your health than smoking or a poor diet. And yet, staying socially connected, it protects your heart, boosts your immune system, sharpens your mind, and makes every single day feel lighter. Now here's the real beauty. Making a new friend doesn't mean adding someone to your Christmas card list. It could be sharing a laugh with the cashier, helping a stranger find a product in the aisle, or just smiling at someone who looks like they needed it. So, if you've made a new connection recently, even just a small one, you're doing something remarkable. You're adding years to your life and warmth to someone else's. And if it's been a while, no worries. Start small. Say hello to someone this week and see what unfolds. Now, while we're talking about social magic, there's another powerful skill that shows your brain, your heart, and your humor are still very much alive. Let's talk about the gift of making someone laugh. 2. You can still make a stranger laugh. Now this one's a favorite of mine. Because let me tell you something. If you can still make someone laugh, especially a total stranger, you're working with something mighty special. You see, a quick joke, a playful comment, a funny little observation in the grocery line. It's more than just humor. It's a sign that your brain is still nimble, your heart is still open, and your confidence, well, it's very much intact. Humor, my friend, is mental agility in disguise. It means your mind can take a thought, flip it around, and deliver it in a way that connects. That's not just charming, it's powerful. It keeps you socially engaged, mentally sharp, and emotionally light. And here's something beautiful. When you make someone else laugh, you both benefit. Laughter lowers stress hormones, improves circulation, and lights up areas of the brain linked to memory and creativity. So the next time you're out and about, Don't be shy. Toss out a silly compliment. Share a quick story. Say something unexpected and watch someone's face light up. You just might make their whole day. And unknowingly, add a few good years to your own. And if you haven't cracked a joke in a while, don't worry. It's like riding a bike. Just give it a try. You'll be amazed how good it feels. Now, since we're on the topic of memory and sharp thinking, there's something else you might still be doing without even realizing how incredible it is. Let's talk about remembering the good old days and why that's not just nostalgia. It's neuroscience. 3. You can remember what things used to cost. Now tell me something. Have you ever picked up a carton of eggs lately, looked at the price, and thought, "You've got to be kidding me"? Then, without missing a beat, turned to the nearest person, who didn't even ask, and said, "I remember when this used to be $1." Yes, that, my friend, is a beautiful sign. Your long-term memory is alive and well. You see, being able to recall prices from decades ago, what gas cost when you first got your license, or how much you paid for your first movie ticket, that's not just nostalgia. That's your brain keeping a mental timeline, a string of memories woven into your life story. These details may seem small, but neurologically, they're big. Because when the brain starts to decline, it's often those little life markers that fade first. So when you can still pull them up, clear as day, it shows that your memory isn't just working, it's thriving. So the next time someone chuckles when you mention that bread used to be $1, just smile. That moment of remembering, that's your brain saying, "I've still got it." And here's the kicker. Recalling those things not only keeps your memory active, it often sparks conversation, builds connection, and reminds us how far we've come. Now, let's shift from the past to the present moment. Because there's one daily skill that says more about your overall health than you might think. Let's talk about getting up off the floor and why doing it with ease might just mean you'll be dancing at your 100th birthday. 4. You can get up from the floor without a struggle. All right, let's talk about something simple, but incredibly telling, getting up from the floor. Now I know what you're thinking. I don't exactly hang out on the floor these days. But hear me out. Being able to get down and then push yourself back up without using half the furniture and without making sound effects like a creaky old chair, that's a big deal. Why? Because this simple little action checks off a lot of boxes. Strength, balance, flexibility, coordination. It's not just about mobility, it's about resilience. The kind that says, "Hey, I can still take care of myself." There's even a test doctors use called the sit-to-stand test. The fewer hands, knees, or props you need to get back up, the longer you're statistically expected to live. Wild, right? And listen, if you're thinking, "Well, I definitely grown a little on the way up," that's okay. It's not about perfection. It's about staying active and giving your muscles a little nudge every day. So next time you find yourself on the floor, maybe playing with the grandkids or picking up that sock the dryer tossed across the room, pause for a second. Try getting up slowly, mindfully, and without rushing. That movement might just be one of the best gifts you give yourself. Speaking of moving, let's talk about something that brings both your body and your spirit to life. Yep, we're talking about dancing. Even if it's just a little shoulder shimmy in the kitchen, it matters more than you think. 5. You can still dance, even just a little. Ah, dancing. Now we're talking. You don't have to bust out a full two-step or spin around like Fred Astaire to reap the benefits. In fact, if you can still sway your hips a little, tap your foot to the rhythm, or even do a subtle shoulder shimmy while you're making toast. And yes, that counts just as much as a full-on dance. Because here's the truth. Dancing isn't just fun. It's a full-body wellness tool, disguised as joy. It boosts balance, strengthens your legs, and gets your heart rate up. But even more powerful, it lights up your brain. Dancing activates areas linked to memory, coordination, and emotional regulation. It actually builds new neural pathways, and that's not just impressive. It's vital as we age. And let's not forget the emotional side. Music brings back memories. It lifts your mood. It reminds you of who you were and who you still are. Maybe it's that song you danced to at your wedding, or a tune that makes you think of your kids when they were little. That's not just nostalgia. That's therapy. So, my friend, I encourage you. Put on a song you love this week. Doesn't matter if it's Elvis, Motown, or something your grandkids introduced you to. Let your body move, even if it's just a chair dance. Because when the music moves you, it's a sign you're still alive, in all the best ways. Now, while dancing gets the body moving, this next one is all about the mind. It's quiet, it's powerful, and it shows you've still got one of the sharpest tools in the box. Let's talk about staying calm in the chaos, especially around those challenging people we all know. 6, you can stay calm around difficult people. Whew. Now this one might hit home. We've all got someone in our life who just tests us. Could be a grumpy neighbor, a loudmouth in the grocery store, or maybe even a family member who always knows everything and isn't shy about telling you. But if you've learned how to stay calm when someone's pushing your buttons, oh my friend, that's a superpower. Because emotional control isn't just about good manners. It's about health. Staying cool in stressful moments keeps your blood pressure steady, your heart rate low, and your mind clear. It protects your entire system from the wear and tear of stress. It also means you've developed something called emotional intelligence. That's the ability to pause, breathe, and say, "This isn't about me." Or, better yet, one of my favorite phrases, "Not my circus, not my monkeys." That little mindset shift, it changes everything. It gives you peace in the moment. And over time, that peace adds up to a longer, healthier life. And look, nobody's perfect. We all have moments we snap. But if you can bounce back quickly, or keep yourself from reacting in the first place, you're doing something most people never master. Now let's shift from managing emotions to feeding your mind. Because if you're still doing this next thing, you're not just aging well, you're growing. And that's the real secret to staying young. Let's talk about the magic of learning something new at any age. 7, you can still enjoy learning something new. Let me tell you something I've learned after 50 years working with older adults. Curiosity is the fountain of youth. If you're over 60 and still get excited about learning new things, whether it's a new recipe, a puzzle, a tech gadget, or even just how to use that remote your grandkid reprogrammed, you are doing something incredible for your brain. See, when we challenge ourselves to learn, our brains form new pathways. It keeps those neurons firing, keeps our memory sharp, and helps us adapt to a world that's always changing. It doesn't matter if you're not perfect at it. It matters that you're trying. And here's the thing. Learning doesn't have to mean going back to school. It can be fun. Take an online class on something you've always wondered about. Try your hand at a little painting. Learn how to grow herbs in the windowsill. Heck, even asking your grandchild to show you how their phone works counts. Because when your mind stays open, your life stays open. It shows you're not just going through the motions. You're engaged. You're invested. You're saying, I'm still in the game. And honestly, that attitude, it's one of the strongest predictors of a long and meaningful life. Now, we've talked about memory, movement, laughter, friendship. But there's one last thing, and it might seem small, but trust me, it's one of the sharpest signs your brain is still firing on all cylinders. Let's talk about something you probably do every day. Finding your glasses or keys without turning the house upside down. 8. You can still find your glasses or keys in under 5 minutes. Ah, yes, the classic game of where did I put my glasses? Or who moved my keys? Spoiler alert, it was probably you. But here's the thing. If you can still misplace something and retrace your steps to find it pretty quickly, you're doing more than just saving time. You're showing that your executive brain function is still running strong. That ability to remember, problem solve, and organize your thoughts, it's a clear sign that your brain is well tuned. And honestly, in a world full of distractions, phones buzzing, TVs talking, timers dinging, that kind of mental clarity deserves a round of applause. Now, if you do tend to misplace things, try the one spot rule. Train yourself to put your keys, glasses, wallet, whatever you always lose, in the same exact spot every single time. It's simple, and it works like magic. And don't be hard on yourself. Everyone forgets things once in a while, young, old, and everyone in between. What matters is that you can figure it out and keep going. Because remembering small details like where you left your things, that's your brain saying, I'm still here. I've got you. So, if you're still with me, nodding along, maybe even smiling, then I've got one small request. All right, my friend. Now I want to hear from you. So tell me, how many of these 8 things can you still do? Be honest with yourself. Please share a little story of yours in the comments section. I'd love to know if you're still dancing in the kitchen, learning something new, or charming the socks off the folks at the grocery store. You see, growing older isn't about what's slipping away. It's about what you still have and what's still possible. If you recognize yourself in even half of these 8 signs, you're doing better than most. If you checked off all 8, well, you just might be aging like fine wine. These abilities, making friends, staying calm, laughing, dancing, remembering, learning, they're not just habits, they're gifts. And they're proof that life still has so much joy, connection, and purpose left for you. So keep moving, keep laughing, keep living. Because you're not just getting older, you're getting better. And between you and me, I can't wait to see what you do next. Stick around, because there's always more wisdom, more joy, and more life waiting to be shared.